I think perhaps the first thing is to recognize the huge benefit that it offers the institution to have a variety of faculty, to have diverse faculty and diverse students. It's an enriching experience. So once we can recognize that there's a benefit to it, until we realize the significant benefit, we're not willing to invest in it. It's just like going to the grocery store or going to buy a car. Until you realize that there's significant benefit to this particular car, you're not going to spend $20,000, $25,000 to purchase it. So that's the first thing, recognizing that there's a benefit. The second thing is recognizing that there has to be a commitment to the process. And by that I mean not just doing your best. I speak of this example in the classroom. If I ask the students to get my markers from my office and the knob is giving a little trouble, and the student will sit down and say, well, Clark, I did my best. The door is jammed. But if there were a fire in the classroom, would that student just try the door and sit down, or would that student do whatever it takes to get out of the classroom? And so my concern then is, are we doing whatever it takes to achieve diversity? So then the commitment would have to follow the recognition of a significant benefit to this process. And there are several other things we can do then when those things have been established, such as we sometimes have a Grow Your Own program at some institutions, in that we help students to get degrees, both financially and other means of support and so on. We need to have perhaps a strong database so that when an opening becomes available, we don't wait until the opening becomes available to really tap particular individuals for the opening. I'm also reminded I'm a tennis coach, and when I'm trying to find a good tennis player for my team, I don't put ads in the Wall Street Journal. I try to find them wherever they are. I go and watch them play and nurture them and work with them and so on, so that by the time they're ready to come to an institution or go to school, they know who I am and so on, so that we can actually have a decent team. So the recruitment process, I don't wait until I need a new tennis player. I happen to know students in the community and work with them, work with their parents and so on, to make sure that when they decide to go to college, or if they decide to go to college, they know who I am. And it's the same thing is necessary in the recruitment process. We need to be able to nurture and to understand who's out there and who's available, so that when we're ready to recruit, that we have them available.
I also think that inconsistent mentoring is an issue for a number of faculty of color, where it is suggested that mentoring exists, but in fact it's almost hit or miss. And it really depends on possibly who serves as the chair of your department or the dean of your college, or it depends on whether or not you found someone who has just taken a personal initiative and says, I want to assist you in some way. But for the most part, you find, again, this hit or miss mentality of maybe someone will help you, maybe someone won't, maybe someone can help you on this particular project, but the other projects there's not going to be any assistance for. And so that whole sense of not knowing whether or not you do have a base in which someone can give you guidance, provide you resources. You never know. Even if you're asking the questions, you still feel as though it's inconsistent information.